I'm really just loving making memes lately because I have found for myself that visual memes, very, very simple memes, usually convey an idea much clearer and much more efficiently and much simpler than talking about it or writing about it. So I've been having fun on LinkedIn. If you guys are not on LinkedIn, or if you are, go ahead and add me. I'm putting out a lot of fun visual memes lately. This one seemed to strike a chord with a lot of you guys that follow me there, and I wanted to share with you here on the YouTube channel because for those of you that have not turned your music into any income yet, or you're maybe at the part-time income level, you probably are feeling like this poor guy right here, where you see the prospects of turning your music into full-time income as a just wall in front of you, right? And it just, you look up, and it's 1,000 feet high, and you're thinking about how much music am I going to have to create? I mean, I'm going to have to create like hundreds of tracks, and I'm going to have to pitch to libraries, potentially get rejected, get ignored, not hear back from them. What if I get ghosted by these libraries? How long does it take to get those royalties? It takes a year. What if I don't get any sync fees? What if this library doesn't pay me any consideration fees? What if my tracks don't get registered properly? What if there's missing cue sheets, right? We stack all these things up on ourselves as if we're all going to deal with them in one day, right? And they're all going to happen right away. And so because we see all those daunting and scary things in front of us, it makes it seem, it's a mirage, it makes it seem like there is a wall in front of us. And the only way to succeed is we have to climb up a massively steep wall, maybe not even being in shape, not even having the right equipment. And so, you can only go up against a wall like that so many times and go like, forget it. I'm just not going to do it. Like this is impossible. I don't know how other people are doing this, but just it ain't for me. And I'm here to tell you, after 16 years in this industry and coaching thousands of producers over 8 years, this is not actually what's in front of you. This is a lie. This is a mirage. This is actually just something that our brains do to kind of scare us away from doing a lot of hard work. Our brains usually don't like us to do a lot of hard work. Our brains usually want us to do the least amount of work to get the most amount of benefit from it. So we're kind of counteractively, we're not going into an intuitive place when we want to pursue sync licensing or do anything that takes multiple years without payoff right away, okay? I'm here to tell you that this is actually what's in front of you. It's just one step, right? All that's in front of you right now today is today. What can you literally do today to take one step towards your goal of making sync licensing your part-time or full-time income? So don't worry about 100 tracks you have to produce at some point, or 1,000 tracks that you might want to produce in the course of your career. Don't worry about a library rejection. Don't worry about missing cue sheets. Don't worry about how long it's going to take. Don't worry about any of that stuff. In fact, the more that you spend in the future dwelling on all these future problems you're going to have, the less likely you're going to take any action today. It's going to stop you. It's going to inhibit you from moving forward. So just take one step. That's it. And it is a flat road in front of you. It's not steep, right? I mean, it might take a little bit of work to open up your DAW if you're not feeling like it. But like I've said, and I've shared one of these little tricks for you guys on my channel before, open up your DAW. Even if you feel no motivation, you have no excitement for music, open it up, hit a couple of notes, make one little beat, even if you hate it, and see how you feel at the end of that 5-minute process. Like literally 5 minutes. That's it. Maybe even 1 minute. You make it so small that it's almost impossible to not be able to do. Because what's going to happen is you're going to start to get the gears of creativity flowing, and you're going to realize, you know what? Opening my DAW today was the one little step I could have taken. And maybe that one little step opens up a door for you to make a little beat, go through some sample libraries, listen to some production music, maybe go to a catalog and go listen to some reference tracks and just get inspired for the afternoon. That's better than doing nothing. That's better than scrolling on Instagram, right? So I really want to just share and double down on this, to just focus on this bottom image, okay? You're just walking on a path, and it's going to happen one step at a time. My first step at the very beginning was going to a meeting with a library CEO. I didn't make any music. I didn't have any alt mixes. I didn't have any metadata. I had no income. I don't even know if I was with BMI yet, or ASCAP back then. I don't even know if I was with ASCAP. I had nothing. All I did was I just showed up to a meeting. That was the first step I took. You fast forward, and then every day after that, I took another step. The next step was, all right, what should I do for my music? How should I start creating music? And I started to listen to other reference tracks and notice what was going on with theirs and what was different about mine. And I just started to make music and produce music and get a little better at it every single time that I did it. Wasn't making great music, wasn't succeeding, wasn't getting placements. In fact, wasn't making basically any income until I got my first little, check for the consideration fees from the library. But my journey was not this wall, and nobody who does this full time had this wall in front of them. They had a flat road, but they just took a step, right? They focused on what they could do today whenever they got started. And when they woke up the next day, they said, what's the next step? What's the next step? What's the next step? So try to simplify and go easy on yourself and not try to solve all of the world's problems and all of your careers and fight all your career's battles right now. That is insanity, and that is absolutely going to kill your creativity or motivation moving forward. So this is also kind of tying into this Sync Focus 2025 project that I'm basically putting together in a program that I'm going to be giving you guys details for. But it's basically going to give you a framework to be able to do this every single day. So but that by the end of the year, you might look back and go, wow, look how far I've come. Look how high up I've climbed up in this mountain. It didn't feel like I really had to scale some massive steep hill. I just showed up every single day. And that's really this, I'll be honest with you guys, that is the secret to my success. I have decent music. Some of my music I think is great. A lot of it's just, it got the job done. Not amazing. But what separates me from most producers who get involved with sync is I put my butt in the seat every single day, right? Metaphorically, I'm sure there were some days that I didn't make music, but generally I was there. I was available. I answered calls from my libraries. I consistently showed up, and I consistently figured out, all right, it's Monday. What do I do today? It's Friday. What do I do today? And I was not fighting the battles that were in front of me years and years and years down the road. So hopefully this is encouraging. Hopefully this gives you guys a little bit of a reset on maybe your perspective. And I'm curious, does this really resonate with you as well? Did this help kind of unstuck you, get you out of your sort of own way of thinking that like it's just going to be impossible because it's too hard? If I looked back, if you told me, Jesse, it's 2008, here's sync licensing, you got excited about it, great. I'm going to actually give you a documentary about how much work you're going to put into your career all the way up until the end of 2024. If somebody had showed me that film, there's no way I would have done any of this. That's insanity. That is I would have been hospitalized to see how much work and effort and hardship and heartbreak and disappointment and sacrifice I would be having to put into this career. And it's almost like ignorance was bliss. I'm glad that I didn't know exactly what I was in for, and I just took it one step at a time, because now I can see really how far I've gone, and I'm really, really grateful that I did stick with it. But I'm really glad that I didn't focus too much, or I wasn't even aware of how much work was in front of me, okay? So I'm sorry if I'm telling you guys about all this that's coming in your future. I just want to make sure I'm preparing you so that you're not shocked by it when it does come. But don't worry about it. Just don't worry about any of that stuff. Just focus on today. Just take your step one day at a time.